Have you ever suffered an injustice, been overlooked, ignored, or rejected? Have you been denied, repudiated, negated, humiliated, devastated, infuriated, frustrated, or transgressed upon? You're a good person. So why have people disrespected, slighted, wounded, snubbed, oppressed, held down, discriminated against, distressed, tortured, haunted, bullied, teased, tormented, or spread rumors about you? Why? And when it was over, did you think, I don't deserve this? Why me? I'm a good person. If someone is going to get divorced, suffer a heart attack, be mugged, raped, blown up by a terrorist, lose a limb in an accident, be swindled, slandered, foreclosed on, or fired, don't you think it should happen to someone who deserves it? It should never happen to me. I'm a good person. Well, if any of this has happened to you, I just want you to know that Joseph Michael Moretti has found the answer. Chapter 1. I wanted to make it so that young people would begin to ask questions about the mystery. Not having enough interest in the mysteries of life to ask the question, is there a God or is there not a God? That for me is the worst thing that can happen. George Lucas. Joseph Michael Moretti awakened to the muffled crying coming from the guest room. Grace's sobbing echoed in his mind. Quickly dressing, he slipped on his sandals and headed downstairs for a cup of coffee. After hitting the button on the coffee maker, he got out his favorite Lucky Mug and the bottle of vanilla creamer. Desiring to avoid Grace, he softly called Hershey, their chocolate-brown lab, for a walk on the Strand. It will feel good to feel the fresh ocean breeze. As soon as he picked up the leash, Hershey was at his side. After pouring coffee into his mug, he headed out the front door. Why does she have to cry all the time? I can stand anything but crying. Yelling would be better. Joe strolled his way along the Strand, his flip-flops echoing on the pavement. He watched the gulls diving for their breakfasts. He spotted a dog paddling out into the waves after a red ball, as his owner stood at the shore laughing and yelling encouragements. When he retrieved the ball, he paddled to shore. Shaking like a wild thing, he showered his owner with water. His bark was full of immense joy, encouraging his owner to once again throw the ball back into the waves. Seeing a couple of guys surfing in the distance, Joe yearned to have the energy to join them. If only he could muster the strength. Not anymore. He just couldn't. Once he had thought of himself as unstoppable, a shrewd businessman, stylish, even sexy when he wanted to be. But his face seemed too careworn now, his cheekbones too protruding, and the gloominess too deep. The restless nights had taken their toll, leaving his brown eyes heavily sunken. Sitting like a stagnant pond, clouded by fear, he wondered what evil lurked below the surface, what unbearable pain might soon unfold. A cool breeze blew across his face, its smells of the ocean clean and fresh. Walking to the shoreline, a wave caught him by surprise. Wet and clammy, sand oozed between his toes. Arriving at his favorite spot, he sat in the sand sipping his coffee while Hershey curled up next to him taking his morning nap. His mind rambled about without a clear-cut purpose. Most of his important decisions in life had been made here, but for the first time he had no spot to place his pain and nowhere to turn for help. Joe was heartbroken. What force had led him to this place? There seemed to be no magic healing, no easy step to get him back to where he was happy. Over the last few days, Joe's emotions plummeted. He felt weak and lifeless. There was a strange chill in the pit of his stomach. His feelings of injustice and anger let him know that something wasn't right in the universe. A heavy cloak of anxiety hung around his shoulders. Why has this happened to my family? When will it stop? The pain. I can't take it anymore. Why can't someone, anyone, help me?